Guess who went scuba diving in the Great Barrier Reef? This one did, but let me tell you, this was my second attempt because the first one I actually developed some really scary claustrophobia that I use conversational hypnosis to help me get over. So here's the story. Let's start with the first time that I went. The first time that I went, I booked this amazing experience touring the Great Barrier Reef with the intention to scuba dive. And so I got in there, I had my scuba gear on, we had the intro, I knew all the things. And as soon as we got down, as we were about to descend, I literally froze, like completely froze, almost had a panic attack underwater. Thank goodness I know some breath work and calming practices, but even then, the phobia took over. And so it was very scary because I was down there, I had my scuba gear on, goggles, like the oxygen thingy. I had the backpack with the oxygen and all of the things. But somehow I just couldn't stay underwater. There was this huge panic, and somehow I forgot to swim. Like, who does that, right? I've been swimming since I was a young kid, and somehow I just forgot how to do anything. The instructions that the instructor was giving me, I couldn't process any information. I was so frozen for some reason. So anyway, I was like, no, I am done. Let's go up. And I, instead of dive, I just snorkeled normally in the reefs. It was still an amazing experience, but I was like, oh shit, like this is this is not good. And so of course the timing was great, right? And then I had received a conversational hypnosis session after that to really work on this because this came out of nowhere. And although there were things that were scary, like we were in the middle of the ocean because we were in the barrier reef, I was able to scuba dive in the past. So it wasn't that it was completely new. I knew what to expect. I had experience with it. So it was just very strange how it came about. And so we go into, the conversational hypnosis. I talked to them. I talked to I talked about my personal experience exactly as I just said now. And then what came up was really a very weird association that my mind made that, as I looked down on the reefs, my mind had associated a something from 11 years ago that had happened. It reminded somehow I was reminded by a certain person in my life, and as I looked down, all of the emotions became chaotic and triggered. And so it was just very interesting. And so throughout that conversational hypnosis sessions, obviously I did a lot of emotional processing. It was a very emotional session for me. And then was it 10 days? I think 10 days. Yeah. So 9 to 10 days later, I booked this again and then successfully scuba dove. Like that time after that session, I was able to go down. I literally just climbed down, no problem. The breathing was fine. I was able to breathe normally, and we were under the water for half an hour to 40 minutes. And it was such a surreal experience, like being down there in the barrier reef, like being with all the fish, like breathing normally underwater. It was such a surreal experience for me, and definitely one that I checked off in my bucket list. And of course, it's very special because I got to walk the talk and use the own methods that I teach my students and I use for my personal clients, and actually saw the byproduct of how well it works. And so, I wanted to share that because sometimes, especially maybe you have experience in hypnotherapy or hypnosis. Usually, normally, what would happen is that you would be relaxed and you would be told through suggestions that The relaxation is going to help you. You're a confident swimmer, blah, 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 blah. And now, although that probably could have helped me a little bit, I was already doing that. I was already relaxing. I was already giving myself suggestions the first time I did it, but it didn't work because the emotional processing that need to happen, because my mind has linked this event to someone in my past, had to be dealt with first and processed first. And to be honest, whatever I dealt with emotionally, that had to be processed was a million times more powerful, and it was something that I really needed to address, because not only would that, if left unprocessed, that those emotions would have impacted not just the scuba dive, but other areas in my life. Like it probably would have affected my future relationships. It probably would have affected my health and how I showed up for my business, if the emotions from the whatever I processed still continued to run in the background unconsciously. So super duper happy about that. It's really great to have this insight and have this really strong relationship with the unconscious mind that is beyond the superficial suggestions, right? Really gaining insight as to how our mind works is pretty damn fascinating. And that's really what I love to do. So I wanted to share this with you and share this win, because it's on the bucket list and I'm super proud of it up until now. And so, if you have any questions at all with that experience, or, hypnosis in general, definitely let me know and ask. Otherwise, I will see you soon.